Welcome to At Home Night. You can see I've dressed, well, this is how I was dressing at home today. You'll see pictures later. But yeah, everything's different. People are hanging around the house doing different things. And that's what we're talking about tonight for fun. When we talk about what it's like to be at home, how that affects us, how changes adapt, and how we have to adapt and roll with them. But one of the things we're going to talk about is how good it is to keep a regular schedule and do the same kind of things. So as we always do for AWANA, we're going to start off with our pledges and our song. So I'll give it over to my friends as they begin with first our pledge to the American flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And then our pledge to the AWANA flag.
I pledge allegiance
to the AWANA flag, which stands for the AWANA clubs, whose goal is to reach boys and girls with the gospel of Christ and train them to serve Him. And then our song. Firmly AWANA stands, led by the Lord's commands. Approved workmen are not ashamed, boys and girls for His service claim. AWANA on the march for you. Hail AWANA, hold forth the truth, building life on the word of God. AWANA stands, our Savior following, with steps unfaltering and love unaltering. His praise we sing, His banner we'll fight for Christ our King. And if you're having a birthday, you're marching on in a special way. Lily, you had a birthday last Monday, so happy birthday to you. I don't know who else has had a birthday, but we'll go ahead and sing Happy Birthday, God Bless You. If you had a birthday this week, it's for you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, God bless you. Happy birthday to you. Hooray! Let's talk about our new schedule. If you heard, we're not going to be doing anything for Pinewood Derby right now at all, for AWANA Grand Prix, because, well, just don't have the ability to get together, don't have the ability to meet, don't have the ability to do anything. So we're just not going to do that. So tonight is at-home night. You can see I'm dressed in my at-home kind of clothes. That's our point. Next week is closing night. So if you're one of our directors, Puggles, Cubbies, Sparks, TNT, let me know who will be getting some kind of award from us. And we'll take care of getting those things done. And we'll have some virtual comments next week. But we will either mail or hand deliver, is a possibility, not only your awards and such, but also very possibly your special recognitions and such as that. We'll try to order those and put those in your little hands over the next few weeks when we're finished with club. If we had to guess, and we generally have a little bit of variance, check the adjustment, it's very possible that AWANA's starting date for this fall, because by then we'll be able to have AWANA, will be the 16th of September. So the 16th of September would very likely be the first time that we meet together again for AWANA on our opening night. So scratch that someplace. We'll confirm that as the summer goes by, because I want to give you a guessing date that I think is correct, that I think we'll be able to do as time progresses. But when I know for sure, we'll confirm. I don't think it'll be any earlier. I don't think it'll be later, but it will if it has to be. But September 16th is, I think, when we start up AWANA again. Well, tonight, again, it's at-home night, so there's my at-home pictures. There I am just at home hanging around. See, recognize the shirt, yes, and then, yeah, my pajama pants. Today was an at-home day, so often I go out, do things, meet people, go for a walk. Today, I think I have maybe 1,000 steps all day, if you track that. I normally do a lot more than that. And I go out and go here and there. Today, I was just at home. I was working on what we're doing tonight. I was working on some other paperwork. I'm doing a bunch of reading, trying to read ahead for things. And so today was an office day at home. Now, what about your at-home pics? What about this one? Whose house do you want to guess that is? Whose little sibling is that? I'm sorry, ha, 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 just kidding. Nobody's that sloppy. Nobody was that bad. But here is an at-home night pic from the girls. Yep, very good. They're there. They're working at home. A lot of you, excuse me, are doing a lot of at-home work, school work, and all these other things. Our verse. Let's do a verse. And I have a director here with me who's watching. That's Mrs. Johnston. And I'd like to know if you will help us by starting us off on the reference and with the verse for our AWANA verse. So, Mrs. Johnston, what is, you can just sing out with your voice, what is the AWANA reference?
2 Timothy 2:15.
And it's okay for you to read it off the screen. If you're at home while you put your back to it, that's okay. For me, that doesn't matter, because if my back's to the screen, my friend's to the computer, or my friend's to the printout. But let's go ahead and do our AWANA verse and say it out loud. Be diligent to present yourself approved to God, a worker who does not need to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. Hope you know my eyes are on the camera for that. I didn't have to look down. We're going to continue to have, sorry, all of a sudden I can't talk. Continue to have opportunities for you to say sections. Mrs. Johnston, has anybody set up to do any sections tonight?
Yes. Karis is going to finish her book tonight. Yay, Karis!
Very good. And then you have opportunities to contact other leaders for saying verses. You can get a hold of me if you can't get a hold of anybody else. That's why my email is up there. But you can contact for TNT or contact for Sparks. And as far as I'm concerned, unless you cut me off, you can go ahead and just be saying sections up until the last minute, because, well, you're not going to be here next week, so I have time to adapt. So if you want to finish sections, finish a book, remember, if you finish a book, we give you $5. There's some other awards and recognitions you'll get for points. So leaders, if you're Spark, TNT leader, if you're the other leaders, let me know the progress of your children or child clubbers so we can get some points going, add some point things together so we can know who has finished a book, where you're going to be at, and your status for the end of the year. So let me know. What we want to talk about is this is, I think, the most positive way, and I've been thinking this way myself, and I was rereading this today. When you look at all the things that are going on around you right now, staying at home, doing extra things, maybe you're making cookies, maybe you're making cakes, maybe you're creating things in the garage or behind the house. Things are different. You have a different schedule. Even if you're going to work, if you're an older teen, you have a job. If you're a parent or an older brother and sister right now, you're doing things are different. Some stores you can't go into without wearing your mask. Some activities, if you're going to be busy with them, you'll have to have your temperature taken. I have friends who run a personal business. And also lack of availability, we loaned them our forehead thermometer that can just be wiped each time, use the thermometer test, because some things are just hard to find, hard to get. So all kinds of things are going on, but let's start off with some pretty things. Yesterday, as I was out running errands, excuse me, I ended up going to Issaquah for a while, and I never really walked around, so yesterday was the day I wanted to take my walk, had my 9,000 steps. So as I got up, I walked up and down Front Street, and there nice, pretty little river, little brook going through downtown Issaquah, right there at Front Street. I took a couple of pictures. But if you think about what it's like to be at home, mom's there, dad's there, some older siblings might be there, some. There's an activity, I'll bet, that someone has encouraged you. Look, you need to be involved with this. And that's going to be house cleaning. There's a lot of cleaning that goes on in our house because we try to have everybody be involved with dishes, laundry. God is good. Thank you, friends here at church. We have our bathroom has new acrylic walls on it, and lifetime warranty if we clean the walls every week. So the kids now have the hang of going in there, and it's somebody's turn every Saturday to go in, spray it down, and squeegee it down. So you can see there's a lot of this kind of stuff going on. Have you been able to get your hair cut? I keep seeing things, so I'm guessing you guys are taking care of that. Haircut. Mrs. Johnston has been cutting our hair. Believe it or not, I have friends in Romania. Romania, that was on such a restrictive lockdown, suddenly poof. Friends I know, they're going to get their hair done. They can go get their nails done. They can go to the cosmetologist and get some other stuff done. So all these things are happening. Something else is, if you have a pet, maybe your pet really likes you being home. Yesterday I was gone a lot. When I got home midnight, just sat with me the rest of the night. Just happy to be there, put her head down. She's over with Mrs. Johnston. So you spend special time with your pet. I have a famous picture. This was a guy who sometimes goes on media and will be interviewed, and he has a wife and children at home, and during one of his interviews, all of a sudden his daughter came in. That's who that was his daughter. And she didn't realize, oh, Daddy's being famous right now. And so that happened. But I'll tell you, if you have access to the web, if you have phone, pad, computer, this is where you've been able to go on a lot. Maybe previously your parents are saying, oh, don't do this, you can only be on certain time. Guess what? Hey, you're supposed to be on now. 3 of my children are working and doing school, and the 3 of them are on their computer a good portion of the day. And because they don't get to see their friends and hang out with their friends, because they're not supposed to, they've been doing Zoom meeting or Facebook meeting or some aspect where they're talking to their friends. Now, I'll tell you where I'm at with this is, well, I go a little crazy now. So you can't do a lot of stuff outside, so here's some family that's they're having fun at home. Did you know you can have fun sometimes? You can do some crazy things, and because it's in your house, nobody will see it. So the neighbors won't be snapping pictures. And it's just you at home. Something else that goes on is online cooking. At our house, Brittany especially is someone who likes to experiment and make new things. And they're good. She made some special soup for us last week. But she's in there. She has a book she writes some things in. And then she has her phone where she's reading recipe things and notes. And then cooking online. Mrs. Johnston and I have done that only a little, where we've had to help each other with recipes. Here's the stress everybody tells us, though. Stay home, stay safe, don't spread disease. And some people are trying, given permission to go do some things, be distant. So wearing your mask at the park, that's not an unusual thing. Wearing your mask if you're out at a walk. Brittany and a friend were riding bicycles the other day on a path and, having helmet on and having all their other protective things. But, again, we talk about things are different now. What's it like at home? What are you watching? Some cities have been so locked down that animals have come in, have gotten loose, and they've been walking around. So here's your friendly cow walking. And I tried to find what city this was, and I couldn't find any references on this. But apparently a cow has gotten out from some area farm and just starts walking around downtown. Sometimes it's a little hard to do all these tech things. Mrs. Johnston helps out with a school as people are doing online classes and connecting with teacher. And sometimes kids forget to turn their video on, unmute themselves, or maybe they've walked away for a second and not realized they're about to be called on. So you can see sometimes parents are there overlooking as you're doing your schoolwork. One of my children took some online exams, and guess what? There's no way to monitor them. So as they take exams, they're all open book exams. Why? You have no way to check, no way to monitor, no proctors. You can't go someplace and have somebody watch you take this test. So there's just so many different things. But even though you're at home, there are still some things that all of us are supposed to be doing. Remember, how many seconds are you supposed to be washing your hands? 5, 10, 15. Well, if I took off my socks, you could see 20. 20 seconds you're supposed to be washing your hands. And guess what? You're still supposed to be washing your hands because there's still stuff around the house that's icky. You don't know where sometimes mail, sometimes groceries. I haven't generally done it, but sometimes for groceries, I've cleaned some things off. And if it's in a package, and then if it's something fresh, I'll rinse it off sometimes. But you end up with this. You're going to end up with, at some point or another, because everybody's at home, everybody's shoved together. And you can see here's 1, 2, 3 people in a very short space. And somebody taking that picture above them. So there's just a lot of close, cramped opportunities. And what can happen is people can get upset. People can get a little stressed. Sometimes people just want to withdraw and not say anything. Sometimes people want to overexert. Sometimes we get the reminder mode. Let me remind you what you're supposed to do. Let me remind you what you said. Let me remind you what Mom and Dad has said. So here's the verse for today. I want to stick in your mind. Because this is the verse, I even reflect on this today. I reflect on this verse on occasion. This is the day the Lord has made. Let us, here we go. Let us get crabby and yell in it. No. Let us take my siblings' hidden cookies out of their drawer and eat them to get back at them for wearing my socks. No. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. You know, because I'm talking about home. What's going on? Everyone's new gym is their house. People are doing push-ups. My kids are watching some videos and doing some exercises. For me, going out and walking has been my big thing. Home is your new restaurant. Sometimes the kids have said, Dad, we'd like to cook a little something different or interesting today. Can you pick up X? I'll come home and then people will cook. So it's like it's your restaurant experience. Home's your school ground. Where do you sit? Where is your computer? Is it your time? If you have limit on internet, well, you can't be both doing it at the same time, so one of you do it now and the other one do it later. If somebody has an exam, maybe everybody should just kind of get off it or do something else for a while they can do it. And also, what is everybody doing? Everybody now washes clothes. You're working at the laundromat. Everyone's washing dishes. It's like you're in the back room at the restaurant. And everybody seems like it's time to clean everything. Did you clean the counter? Did you put your things away? Did you put your dishes in the sink? Did you load the dishwasher? Unload the dishwasher? Where's your dirty clothes? I don't want to see any of those kinds of things out. So it's like that kid right there. You know, just running around doing all these kinds of things is a new part of your schedule because you're home, and your parents, if either one or both of them are home, they've got more extra things to do too. They might be working from home and don't have time. This is a new thing for us. Our dog, Midnight, her little nails grow. And her little nails grow so much that sometimes they'll stick on a little bit of carpet that we have, or she sounds like a tap dancer. She's walking down the hall where the wood is. So I know it's not a mouse, it must be Midnight. So can't get her nails done anywhere that I can find. So just today in the mail came a Dremel to trim her nails. The battery's charging now, and Midnight seems to like that when we get it done at her pet services place. So we'll see if we can do it for her tonight. Doing the Dremel because it's easier for me. I tried to clip her nails once. I didn't do a good job. So that's the new thing. So all kinds of new things. Now I want to encourage you. This is apparently a real picture. And somebody's trying to have fun, but starting a business, I don't know how true this is, but I think this is funny. $20 pedicure, that's when they cut your toenails. I make nice for you. Get in, pick a color. They must be on the East Coast somewhere. But I thought that was funny. But everything is so different. People are trying. But here's the verse that needs to watch our minds. This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Now, here's the challenge we have sometimes. What if I don't feel much like rejoicing? If you've had a birthday in this section, I feel sorry for you. One of our kids had a birthday in this section. I know some of our other AWANA kids have had birthdays in this section. And can't see you. There's got to be some kind of lockdown things. You can't go and have a bunch of people over. Things happen. And you can start feeling like this. See, these people are out, but they're not distancing and they're not masked. But you can tell that they're depressed. They're discouraged. Now, when this time is over, I think everybody will agree. No one will say this is their best time, their favorite time. If you're in an online business that's successful, some of those are doing very well, but very few groups are making a lot. Excuse me. Most of us would rather be out. There's a nice friendly family there standing, waiting. I bet they're waiting for the delivery to wash off the package before they take it in the house. Most of us would be rather doing this kind of stuff. And some places are open, but look, 3 hands right next to each other. They're not social distancing. We would much rather be out doing things. No matter how frustrating it is, how difficult things are, we have to remember, bad things happen, but this is nothing new. God is still in control of us. And here's the hard part. This is the hard part. God is in control of me. If I listen to Him, if I follow Him and I obey Him, if I get frustrated, I can pray to Him. I can tell some of my Christian friends. Sometimes you just need to talk to someone and get stuff off your mind. They want to talk to you and get stuff off their mind. And you kind of relax with each other. Then you kind of smile, joke when you've got all this done. But God is still in control of me. And what I do, I should still be able to listen to God and do what He says. So I can't control everything else. But I've got to be able to let God be in control of me. Because what am I supposed to do? One of the things you can do to kind of help your day is to have some kind of a regular schedule. When you get up, when you go to bed, when you eat, whose turn is it to do a chore? Maybe you have things you have to do every day, maybe things you have to do every week. But keeping a schedule is a good way to help time pass. And even at our house, we've said, is it Thursday? Is it Friday? Because we're not going to do anything, but keep schedule, keep track. That's a good thing for everybody, to have something that you're doing that you commit yourself to do, that other people depend on you to do, and it's going to help your day pass and help your mind a little bit better also. Please note that since God is there and we're listening to Him, there should be something we can be thankful for every day. I have a friend who has been in locking down things, and now there's a little more freedom. So, what's your surprise? Maybe you'll bump into someone if you go out. Maybe you'll get an email or a message. Maybe, you can still write letters to people. I'm not a big letter writer, never really was. But you can write a note. You can email someone. You can put a little Facebook text on them. Somehow you could just send a little message, or even somebody around your house. Hi, Mom, I love you. Dad, I love you. Or simply, how can I help you with this? Hey, you did a really good job with that. Thank you very much. Find something to be thankful for. And look for something to be thankful for. And then be thankful for it. Say something nice to that person. Thanks for doing that for me. It really helped. Daniel helps me through a lot of stuff. Actually, everybody in my house, we help each other. But I appreciate Daniel was up with me the other day doing some stuff around here in the building. Thanks for that. So find a way to be thankful. And remember that somehow you're thankful to God because God helped that good thing to happen. So remember, while you're praying and looking at your Bible, to think, God, thank you for. God, thank you that I have a place to live. God, thank you that I have friends. God, thank you that I have friends and relatives. God, thank you I get to eat some of the things I like. God, thank you that I was busy today, I'm tired, I can have a good night of sleep. God, thank you that we have toilet paper at our house. God, thank you for all these things. You can find something to be thankful for, because you know what? These difficult times will ultimately come to an end, and better days are ahead. A lot of people, as I do errands and things, I see young kids right now on the sidewalk if their parents let them, or in the driveway, and that, that's a good thing to go out and just do something. So, but remember, this is our theme for this era. This is the day the Lord has made. I woke up and here we are. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Find something good to give thanks to God for. Next week, it's our closing night of AWANA. Be watching for other messages that you'll be getting from us for the next few weeks as well. But it's closing night. It's our last night of AWANA. So as I said, leaders, make sure I'm getting some data, and we process that through others to make sure we have an accurate list of what has been done. And we'll announce some recognitions next week. For dress up, I'm not getting a lot of pictures, so this is your shot, because all you have to do is wear your AWANA uniform. Might be a vest, might be a shirt, some kind of top, but why don't you send us your AWANA uniform picture? We haven't seen very many of you for all this, so just take a picture in your uniform shirt, smiling, waving, whatever you're going to be doing. If you're in a family, all of you could sit down and take a pose together. But why don't you wear your AWANA uniform and send me a picture, and then we'll post that up. And that'll be a good way to see each other for our last AWANA of the year. All right, hopefully you're saying some sections. You can get with your leaders and check those things out, as we said. Hopefully you're having a good night, and hopefully you'll have a good rest of the week. And we'll be talking to you about the end of AWANA. So come next week. Have your parents watch our ending comments for who's finished a book, who's been saying some sections, who has going to get some other recognitions. So we'll be looking forward to those things next week, okay? Thanks. God bless you. Have a good night. Father, bless all our friends. Be with us. And thanks for everybody who's helping behind the scenes, like Mr. Bird is tonight, and our section leaders and other people that are doing things. Bless us. Help us to honor you. Help us to love you. And help us to get along with each other. In Jesus' name, and everybody said, Amen. Thanks. Have a good night. Thanks for coming. One more week. Bye.